Welcome, welcome, everybody. This is the CyphaDen chat. I'm your host, Tayamu Denko. I got my homie Pestilence with me. There's Rambunctious. And tonight, special guests, Evie and Serena in the house. Evie is part of Unplugged Studios, photography, modeling, all that good stuff. And Serena, should I call you Serena Marilyn? Are we doing
Yep.
that? Serena Marilyn is a graphic designer and they are mother daughter. So I think that is dope. Um, I actually want to know right away. So, how is it, Serena, growing up around an artist and creative? And is that what pushed you into the direction of wanting to be creative and do art yourself?
Oh, it's so sick. And it's even better that it's not just stale neutral color photography that she does, that it's like really cool lunacy kind of things that come out of her studio. Like that definitely, I don't know if I would have gone into art if not for seeing the absolute lunacy that is her photos and her work in general. Oh.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super dope. And okay, so Evie, what got you into modeling and photography way back? Let's go way back.
Okay.
What got you into that?
Me being bad. So I was I was like a 16-year-old kid, and I didn't really I didn't listen to nothing that my parents had to say at all. I grew up in like a really Christian home, and my parents were just really like, you're gonna do things this way, and I was like, no, I'm not. And so I was making all these friends. I was going to a lot of raves. I was making a lot of friends. I was taking Amtrak trains to Detroit to visit some people that I knew. I had made some friends that lived over in London, which I ended up going over there to live there for a while, with those same people. But I was going there to visit, and this dude who was like pimped out, and when I say pimped out, I mean he had the feather in his hat and everything, like the suit. He came up to me and was like, "Have you ever had your picture taken before?" And I was like, "Sir, are you lost? I don't know what you're talking about right now. I don't know what you want from me, but I don't got it." And so he kept asking, he's like, "I really want to take your picture. You look different, and if just think about it. And if you decide to do it, here's my card. I'm in Detroit." And so I thought about it and I was like, well, I never done anything like that, but at that point in time I was like thrill seeking. I was always looking for something to do or the next adventure, like where am I gonna go? And so I ended up hooking up with this guy. And I went to his studio and it was really nice. He had a big studio. And then I ended up shooting with him and I was like, this is cool. Like this is really cool. He had his own like wardrobe and all of his stuff in his studio, and that's
Nice.
not how it always goes when you go to different places.
Yeah, I
But
was
this,
gonna say, did you believe him at first, and were you nervous to go
no,
to? You know what I mean? Were you
no,
nervous? Did you go by yourself, like to go to?
no, no.
Yeah,
I actually didn't believe him at all. I literally thought that this man might be trying to traffic me.
right,
Possibly.
right. That's
Yeah.
not funny. I'm just,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it is
it
funny
is
actually.
funny. It's a little bit funny
Yeah,
because he looked like he might be trying to traffic me, and I wanted to be like, I am young, like I am the appropriate age for you to do this right now. I'm small, I'm compact, but then at the same time, I used to look like I look crazy now, but I used to look even like crazier. I had like streaming makeup and like a Marilyn Manson shirt on, I think at the time, and all of these.
what year is this?
Ooh, this is like 2000.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
I
about right.
was
That's about right for
very,
the times. Yeah.
yeah, it was very new metal, like looking very just out there, weird. I ended up bringing a couple of friends with me and it ended up being legit. And my friends were like, "Hey, do you want to take pictures of us?" And he's like, "No." And so I felt bad. But at the same time, like I left there and actually like I think people were a little bit salty about it, but I left there with like this fire, like, hey, that was fun. And I've always been an entrepreneur. So I was like, how could I just turn what I did into like something where I can not only do that but make money? Because I was already an artist. I was already painting, I was already drawing, I was already doing all this art stuff. I was making clothes that were just weird and out there and tearing things apart and putting things together. So immediately it was like, how can I turn this into a business?
Mm,
Even at that young age.
That's what's up.
yeah.
Ramp, you got something you want to ask?
When did like what age did the like my mom? I grew up with my mom designed clothes like no pattern, just straight up, yeah, and
Yeah.
then started making art out of fabric. So like instead of paint, she would use fabric to make the art. Like when did at what age did you start doing that? And then at what age did you start doing that? Either or first.
Oh
Or like
man,
that, you know, that type of artistic ingenuity. You know what I'm saying?
so like I was making art when I was really young. I would say that I was as young as like 10 years old. It started to get really weird, like the painting and like putting things together probably when I hit that 12, 13, like right in the puberty range when my mom was like, I will never forget this. We were at Gurney Mills in Gurney, Illinois, and there was this kid in there who had this mohawk that was green and it was just huge. And I think my mom was like trying to detour me from that. And she was like, look at that. And I was like, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
She's like, I think like fear probably overwhelmed her. And she was really supportive of me afterwards. Like I was doing weird stuff. I was like painting like these blood paintings and like being all sorts of weird. Um, it was like red paint, but it was like weird. It was weird stuff after that. But it's just like I had I don't know, like the clothes, I didn't want to wear what everybody else was wearing. And so I would
Mm,
just go and get my own, tear it up and start putting like duct tape on pieces or sewing different pieces together, making
Yeah.
the pants bigger, wider, different, and all these patterns. And in high school, people would be like, "Oh, that's the weird goth girl or this person's strange." But at the same time, like I didn't get bullied. Like people didn't hate on me that much. Like I was friends with everybody. I got along pretty much with like everybody, but I got like mad anxiety. So people would want to be my friend, but I'd be like, ugh, don't get too close because that's
Yeah.
but like, it was an experience. Like my whole life has felt like it's been an experience because of art and the way that I choose to like be eccentric in myself in my own skin.
Real
So,
quick, Serena, before you answer, the last time I was at Gurney Mills, I just gotta say this. Last time I was at Gurney Mills, I saw someone get thrown through a store window.
Bro,
Dang.
it was not a good sale. It was
Yeah,
No.
bad.
yeah, that's the last time I was there. I just remembered. I just wanted to insight and say that.
I appreciate that addition. That's really great.
But go ahead, Serena. Yeah, how young were you when you started messing with art?
It's kind of funny because like she took pictures of me from just for forever. And they started getting more wild when I probably was like middle school or something, because that's when I had kind of a mind of my own and like developed my own like style on how I wanted things to look. And I remember we went to a public park once and we did smoke bombs and we were like running away because someone started pulling up because there was smoke bombs everywhere. But I think in high school, my art started getting good because my grandma, her mom, she was like, wow, you've really gotten good. She was like, I remember, she was trying to compliment me. She said, I remember when you were in like elementary school, you were like the worst artist in your class. And I was like, thank you. She meant so well, and I appreciated it. It was really funny. Um, and I don't know, I think that I have a lot of passion for music and for like photography. Those have always been kind of my main things because I think I have a lot of good ideas, and I didn't get good at drawing until recently, and so for the most part, that would be put out in photo or in music. Not that the music I made in second grade was good. Let's not get that twisted, but I think that it was probably like middle school when I started developing my own style. And now that I'm in college, I'm a lot better at doing the things that I want to do, and I'm developing a more refined style.
That's what's up. Pestilence, you got something?
Yeah, what are y'all's inspirations as far as like art and music?
So I was gonna touch on this really quick. Every single person in my family is a musician. My mom has been a piano teacher for my entire life. Serena's a piano teacher. My other daughter's a piano teacher.
Oh
My
wow.
brother's a piano teacher. I played drums for a very long time. My dad plays bass. My sister was in LA singing for the longest time. She sings, my other daughter sings. So we've got a bunch of musicians here who are like ridiculously talented. My brother plays like 14 instruments and he does it all together himself, and goes on the road and like does this. So it's pretty cool,
Uh,
when people's brains like work like that. I think you got to be a little bit insane. Um, a little bit, a lot of bit insane. I'm a lot of bit insane if you were wondering. But like my inspiration, man, so it's changed so much over the, well, it's not changed so much over the years, but like when I was younger, I was really, really into metal. I still like metal. I liked like Slipknot and Mudvayne and Nine Inch Nails and like music like that. And then I got into like deathcore, like really heavy, nasty music like Filth and things of that nature that was just like, this is really something. But then, on another day, I'll be listening to like classic music or I'll like Radiohead, and then like I'll flip it on another day and I'm like, okay, Juice World is actually where I want to be right now, or XX. And then I'll flip it and be like, I actually want to listen to like Wu-Tang right now. And then it'll go from like Wu-Tang to like some opera. And I feel like that's kind of how my brain operates as well.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. I'm exactly the same way. I think, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I'll go from Miles Davis to DMX like that. You know what I mean? Or
Yes.
Whitney Houston to Warren
Yep.
G or whatever. I mean, or
Exactly.
Jason Mraz to I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm John Mayer.
Bro, Whitney Houston to Warren G is the craziest transition
I'm
ever.
just saying. I know I'm saying this all over the place. You just never know what I'm gonna play.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true that trade you
Yeah.
can't put it on shuffle because it's like really confusing where to go. You can't do it.
That's
I
true.
feel like I think my biggest like artistic like visual arts inspirations are just I don't know, like things that I see. I don't have a lot of specific artists that I follow that I take from, but a lot of the times I'll be inspired by like the way that light hits something or the way that like
Mm.
something feels, or like because I remember there was one night where I was trespassing. I was on the I climbed up on the roof of this building, and I was with a friend and they were like standing up and like the moon was like giving them backlight, and I was like, wow, this would make such an amazing painting. And I chase that high daily. I always want to make something that feels like how that feels. But as far as like music, um, I love a wide genre of music. Like it's kind of wild. I on my way home from church on Sunday, I was bumping Justin Bieber from it was young Justin Bieber. But then I but I also really enjoy like it's a lot. Like I play like alternative music, so like Paramore is one of my favorites. I really like Paramore. I like 21 Pilots. I like Arctic Monkeys a lot. I also like folk sounding stuff, so like Noah Kahn and like the Lumineers and such. And I like indie like the Wallows, and I'm kind of all over the place. Um as far as like a writing style, I've not really developed one yet. It mostly comes closer to like soft indie. And that's kind of what I'll play in cafes too, or like wherever I am, because that's typically the vibe of the environment that I'm in. But I don't know. I'm kind of all over the map.
That's what's up. You guys also recently started a podcast that I was able to be a part of. Where does that whose idea was it to start the podcast?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So we're really annoying when we're together. Like we're obnoxious. I remember there was one time we were in the car and Eddie, who was with us, he was like, he looked like he was going through it because we were just like making obnoxious sounds, whatever. We were like, we should really start a podcast. That'd be so funny. And we've said that for such a long time. Then we went to a Denny's the week before we filmed the first episode. And we were like, dude, we should actually start that podcast. Like, we could bring on like artists. We could talk about like creatives. Like, we could talk about anything. Like, we should just like make a podcast that's just like wild. So that's why.
I think the cool part about it is there's no, it's just freedom. Like a lot of parents and kids, not that I don't like discipline my kids or have like a discipline or not like they're my friends or something, but like we have this really cool dynamic that's like funny and humorous. So like we can go out somewhere and like crack jokes about like capitalism while we're at the mall, or like start posing with like the mannequins or like talking about like people, we're slow roasting some people or we're doing stuff and like it's always going on. Like we could be in the car wash and like start singing the Star Spangled Banner and it makes no
Oh
sense.
yeah.
Like there's nobody there. We're just doing this stupid stuff. And so we thought like, hey, we should start recording this because like all these moments like they're in here and that's cool. And I'll probably be dying. I'll be looking at the sky and I'll be thinking about the Star Spangled Banner and the car wash and all the pretty blue lights. But like it's so much better to like put it somewhere. And since we're both artists and since this is what we both love and what we do, I'm like, what better place to bring in other artists who have like crazy minds and think crazy as well? Because like I said, I think you got to be a little bit insane to do this, and like talk to them and get a feel on like what's going on in your world. Like what's up with you? How hard is it to be you?
I
Yeah.
feel that. Yeah, Rambunctious has actually got me into podcast, and I had no interest whatsoever. And then they brought me on as a guest one time, and I mean the rest is history. Me and Ram have
Yeah.
had multiple podcasts. We started with Pick Apart the Passion together. He actually started that, and then I kind of came on and
Yeah.
started getting a whole bunch of guests. And then it kind of that was during the pandemic, couldn't do shows, so I was like, let's
Yeah.
just hang
And
out and do this. So
I had done I think one or two podcasts before that, and I've kind of been in the podcast as a podcast fan since the podcast began. Like, and I think it's interesting the daughter mother dynamics. What I was going to ask is that is there any uptime? Of course, it's easy because of that and the inside jokes and all that. It's all easy, right? But are there times when you butt heads because of that? You know what I mean? Are there times when you got to be like, hey, let's step away for a second or anything like that?
I think it's like that with like every child I have, no matter
Naturally,
what
right?
we're doing, especially because like it's not just her. Like my other kids are really super artsy too and have their own stuff and like their own businesses. Like she has her own business and my other daughter who's almost 18, she's got her own business too, both piano
Nice.
teachers. And so I think there's a lot of times where I'm like, hey, as far as I go, because I was such like an amazing, I did everything right growing up. I'm like, yo, you should do this way, or don't do this way, or like let's think about that. Let's reframe kind of like how you're thinking about doing that. And it's a lot of like, no. But I want to be like, yo, I like if there was an award for messing things up, like I would have one. I'd have like a medal of honor because I don't know, somewhere in my teenage years I just went like off the rails. Like nope, this life is gonna I'm taking this life and I'm gonna start tossing it around my head like a helicopter. over.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just done. Like I don't know. You didn't know what I would be doing any day of the week, and it just was nuts. Like I had Serena, I had her at 17 years old, so I was out there. I was being crazy. So nowadays in my life, I'm like, I put all that crazy into my art, and I would rather just like, hey, you don't do the same crazy things that I did. I'm like, I'm watching you. This generation though is a little bit different than the generation that I grew up in. Like they're not out here like trying to get Mad Dog 2020s and like drinking them as fast as they
Nah,
can.
not
That's
at all. It's
actually not
weird.
cool. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that sounds weird to say it's weird, but
Yeah. It's
like the
like
kids before us did it though. There were stories about the 70s. There's a whole movie about it, Days of Confused. You know what I mean? Like,
I
you know what I'm
know.
saying? And I just
Yeah.
saw an article recently that was talking about that, how kids these days don't drink, and there's like
No.
down like 60%. Like that's crazy, yo.
Yeah, it is nothing like the movie Kids
I mean, it's
anymore.
great, but
No. Yeah, it's good. Good for you. You're
yeah.
vegan and stuff. Like, I don't, I know you eat Taco Bell at like 12 a.m.
Uh,
by yourself in a corner so nobody can see, but I won't tell them. I won't tell them. Like it just it's a whole different it's a whole different thing. It is so different from when I was a kid and like lying to cops and running and like doing I was doing the most.
yeah.
And still here I am. I'm like almost 40 and I'm still going on like adventures and excursions and going like into buildings that I want to see the inside of and we're tagging and we're just like, I'm still running from the police. I don't know if I can run anymore. So sometimes I'm like, just take me. Just take like oh my like it doesn't work out as well
Yo, I
sometimes.
love it. I love it.
I
I'm
just had a
47, yo. I ain't running no goddamn where. They just got me.
that's what
They
I'm
called me.
talking about. Like, all right, okay. You win. You want to help me paint this? You want to finish this for me? Because my hands are hurting anyway. My arthritis is kicking in. I'm just maybe
Oh,
we could talk
snap.
about this over a meal, officer.
Yeah. I feel I was pretty easy growing up. Like my rebellious phase consisted of me dyeing my hair bright red with Kool-Aid, and that was pretty much it. And I listened to some 21
Yeah,
Pilots and Evanescence, and that really just got me going. So
I got her
that
going.
I did not really have like a crazy phase. The craziest thing that I do now is trespass.
Yeah.
Listen, when I met Serena's dad, I was like heavily into like like I said, like Marilyn Manson and Nine Inch Nails. And the first time I ever met her father, he was wearing a dress and plaid boots and had like these huge spikes on his head. And my instantaneous thought was like, oh, wow, look at that. And I think that needs to be said because like that's what's wrong with me, Like it's like you look great in that dress. Like you probably look better in that dress and fur coat than I would. And so like your eyeliner is like perfect right now. I don't know what to say. That's just really nice. But now it's a little weird. Now you can't do that anymore. It's you know, we've gotten stricter on how you can wear your eyeliner and who, what, where, when, why. I think my dad works in construction now. He wears what do you call that? When you're
Man.
trying to hide from people. What do you call that? Camouflage. Oh, he wears camouflage.
Oh.
Oh, so
Yeah.
literally, they're trying to hide.
Yeah. He's different now. He's different. I got the pictures though.
Oh, fuck.
Got the receipts. Yeah,
Pesto, you
exactly.
got some?
Oh, I wish I had some
Oh
right now
shit.
because I would.
I don't think I have a good one. I think I just have like here he is in a t-shirt looking kind of weird.
Have you guys ever been busted trying to tag something or do anything like that?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, I have. Um,
What's your tag?
oh my goodness.
I mean, do you
Well,
have multiple?
multiples, but
Oh,
first, oh
This
look
is
at
not the craziest, but
oh,
here's
he's on his
that.
Machine Gun Kelly grab. I got you. Yeah. I mean, So I'm mad.
I will
Do
tell
you?
you the craziest bust ever, and it for me it sucked because I couldn't go anywhere. But we were doing a photo shoot. We had this brilliant idea to do this photo shoot, not me and her, but me and a couple of other people in a cemetery, which is already risky.
Yeah.
It was snowing outside. It was cold. I was wearing latex, and we thought it would be a good idea some shibari in a tree, right? So like we're hanging over the graves in latex with shibari knots all over my body, which takes forever. And so they hoist me up and they're taking photos and it's snowing and it's this big dramatic thing. And then we see red and blue lights. And I'm like, I can't, where do I run? So I'm like running in the sky, like, everybody ran away. They all ran away and like left me there. And the cops are like, what are you doing? And I was like, I actually have no idea, sir. Can you think I'm making art? Where did everybody else go? Like, they came back and they're like, you know, you can't be in here. It's like after hours, and this girl is tied to a tree, and this looks really bad. And I'm like, you, what are you? Well, like, I just don't know. Are you gonna get me for trespassing or not? Hurry up. I'm cold up here. So like I don't know that and being in Gary, I think I got nabbed one time for not having a permit, which is nuts because I don't know if you ever been to Gary, but you don't need no permit in Gary. It's just
Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
yeah.
How do they care about anything there?
Yeah, how do they get there is nothing to care about. It's just
Yeah,
it's wild out there, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But at one point in time, I think a lot of photographers and models were just going out there and using the buildings, and maybe somebody got smart and was like, "Oh, we can make money off of this. We could get permits for this, and
That's
people
exactly
should."
what happened. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "Where's your permit?" And I was like, "Meh," and then my permit, and that didn't
Got your
turn out
permit right here.
exactly, exactly, because I can do what I want.
Uh,
And so, like, I've probably had run-ins with police hundreds of times at photo shoots for being in places I'm not supposed to be or doing something, setting something on fire or touching somebody's kangaroo that I wasn't supposed to touch or
okay, rewind. Is that
yeah, yeah,
that's real?
man. Yeah, like this was
Wait,
for
in
real.
America or you're in Australia?
Yeah, in America. So like listen, there was this kangaroo out in this field.
Okay, I didn't know kangaroo was a euphemism or.
No,
No, no.
no, like it was a
She does
kangaroo.
not exaggerate or lie.
I was like, man, that thing just hopping around, and like, I would really like to shoot with your kangaroo. So like, I kept calling this little zoo, and I was like, listen, I'm like a photographer, and I really just want to shoot with the kangaroo. Like, just let me do it. And I kept being annoying and like annoying and annoying. Like, come on, man. Like, I'll give money. You like money? I like money. Let me see the kangaroo. Anyway, I ended up being able to shoot with the kangaroo. I did.
So it didn't try to
And
fight you or nothing. Like it was cool.
oh my goodness, as soon as it stood up and they were like, actually, he
Yeah, I
likes to
wouldn't have done
like,
it.
so he likes to, and I was like, oh, I'm not getting too close to you. But I shot with like a camel and I shot with monkeys that day and a wolf and I shot with like a
Shit.
lemur and like all these different, an owl and a
Did
sloth
you have
and
any problems with any of these animals? I
uh
mean, the sloth would be easy to dodge. You're like, ooh, don't
yeah,
don't move too fast, right?
exactly. There was a, what do you call those little cats? It kind of looks like a cheetah. A lot of people own them in Hollywood. I forget what
Cougars?
they're called.
A
No,
Bengal.
the Bengal. Yeah,
Is
that's what it
it a
was.
Bengal?
That
Wow.
thing was not happy. And I had it in there. I had it in my studio and it was shooting with models and it was not happy. And I'm like, if you want to get bit, you can go ahead and get bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna need extra for that shoot. God damn.
Um, I also had a shoot. Oh my goodness. I was just talking about this the other day. I had a shoot with a photographer that I absolutely love. His name is Brad Campbell. And we were shooting with this snake, and it was like big. This is a big snake, like big. It was around my shoulders. It was really heavy. The body probably went from the back of my studio to the front. That's how big this snake was. Um, and the handler went to go move his head because he was like wrapped around my body several times and then like on the floor, wrapped around my feet. And it bit him and he was bleeding like everywhere. He had his hand above his heart and there was just
Yeah.
blood gushing. And I was like, oh my God. And the snake, it was still on me. I'm like, can you please, like, I know you're dying, but could you just do me a favor, sir, and get this snake off me immediately, please? Like, it was so scary. He ended up needing 150 stitches. It kind of looked like he got into a fight.
150
Holy shit.
stitches.
Yeah. It
Better him
was
than you, huh?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I could feel the little beads of sweat. I was like,
Uh-uh.
get the snake off,
Was that
please.
you don't remember what do you know what kind was that like a big ass python? That wasn't an anaconda or none, was it?
No, I think it was a python,
Boulders.
yellow. Yeah. It was just it was just humongous.
No.
It was a big snake.
Ready.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, that's well while we're on the topic of
Snakes.
no.
On the topic of what?
I'm like, I know some snakes now.
Photography.
No,
Photography. So those shoots sound crazy, but is there a shoot that stands out that was probably the craziest shoot you've ever done where you had to, I don't know, like go lengths to make the shoot happen? And and Serena, were you at uh crazy photo shoots that she was at and something that stand like a photo shoot that stands out to you that might not stand out to Evie?
Mm.
I'm gonna just tell you right now, it's not the craziest shoot I've ever done, but it's the craziest stuff I've ever done for a shoot. We did a Guardians of the Galaxy shoot that I was paid to be in. And I cannot even remember the actress's name. Nova, is that what it is? The bald one, the purple lady with the black eyes, completely blacked out.
Uh, is it Nova? Man, no, I don't remember. I think it is. I feel like it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, they wanted me to be that character, and in order to be that character, they have to face sculpt you, like body sculpt you. I'm not sure if you've ever had that done. But I had no idea what I was getting into. Uh, they cover your entire face and everything else, including your nose and your mouth. You cannot breathe. And then they give you like this tiny little straw hole to breathe out of while all of this dries. And like if you have claustrophobia, like I thought I was gonna lose it. I was squeezing somebody's hand like so many times. Like this is the worst thing I have ever done for a shoot
that's
ever.
crazy.
It was bad. Just so bad. And I had to sit there for 30 minutes, I think, while it dried. I felt like I would have rather been in like that game show with the pit where they put all of the spiders and stuff. I would have rather done that, I think. It was so bad. I felt like, I don't know. And then getting like the scleras in the eyes, that felt pretty horrible too during the shoot. But there was so much costuming and wardrobing and like getting the pieces together just right for that particular shoot that I had done that it was like, okay, this is just so over the top. Everything. It looked really cool, but goodness gracious, did that take forever? And it was just, I assumed just thousands of dollars was poured into making that happen the way that it did.
Yeah.
I think there's two that really stand out. One of them was this one shoot that was at this like mansion house thing where we had these parachute dresses. Do you remember that? There were these like gigantic like they were huge, like the skirts were huge and they like just went like feet away from you. It's crazy. You could fly away in one of those things. And I just remember thinking like my mom just does stuff. And like uh, we got a picture of like her. She's like at the top of the staircase, and there's my sister and I. And we're like wearing these like epic dresses, and people would ask me like, "That's your mom? Is that you? Oh my gosh!" I'd be like, "Yeah." And so like I just think like that was one that really stood out to me because like it had me recall every shoot we had done, and I was like, "Man, my mom just like does things. Like we just go places. We just do things like other people's parents don't do that with them. Like it's like super unique to have a mom that does stuff like that because like." My one time she set a piano on fire in a field, and that was a lovely
Oh,
story with
that's
my
dope.
classmates over the weekend. That was awesome. But another one that really stood out to me was I don't know, it was just this random like taking like photos in a field. Like it wasn't a crazy shoot. It was just you. You were the one being taken
I was being taken.
photographed and someone else was shooting you and they took a picture of the moon and it was like pretty like it was a pretty sick picture of the moon and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened." I tried to take a picture of the moon with my like iPod Touch and it horrendous as you could imagine. And she was like, "You need to get yourself a camera." And I was like,
Mm.
"Oh my gosh, I do need to get myself a camera." And as we were driving home, we were listening to a really odd mix of like Paramore and The Nightmare Before Christmas. And that was the moment that I was like, "Holy crap, I do need to get a camera." So that one stood out just because it was like a like the it takes a picture of the moon and it looks like the moon, not like a little dust speck. That's crazy.
Yeah, they do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ram, you got something?
No, not right now. I hadn't thought of a question.
How
Sorry.
about Pessa? You got something?
I'm in the same boat, brother.
All right. Well, uh, Serena, I want to know what are the biggest challenges you face? I know we briefly touched on this when I was on your podcast. What's some of the challenges you face in this new era graphic design world that you're in?
It's really cutthroat and people are not very like educated is kind of the wrong word, but educated, they don't really respect the space at all. So like when it comes from like peer to peer, um, people are pretty cutthroat and passive aggressive, and if it's not their specific style, they don't like it and it's not good. And your work has for it to be good in someone else's eyes, it has to be compared to something else that either is good or is not good. And that's how you determine whether what you've made is good. And it's really horrible, I think. You can't have your own identity or what you make isn't good among like peer to peer. And then as far as like actually working in this space, when people ask you to do something, a lot of the time they don't understand what you do, so they don't ask you for the right things. Like a
Hmm.
lot of the time, graphic designers get put on like social media management or like some kind of
Mm.
communications or like video editing or whatever, and that's like great, but it's often packaged in this thing to where you get paid nothing for doing everything. So
Mm,
that's one of the biggest obstacles is just how people treat each other, but also how you get treated because people don't understand what you do.
Hmm.
mm.
What are the classes like nowadays? Because I know when I was in college for graphic design, there was like minimal ass shit. Like we didn't do nothing. We literally we went to a computer lab a couple times,
Yeah.
like a week, and just sat there and did like this little shit. And I'm just like, I'm not even learning shit. Like I feel like I already knew how to do this shit. And
Oh,
like like the classes were just real minimal. We only
yeah.
have to meet like once every couple weeks and then come back with our projects. Is it the same type of situation?
No, so I don't know how some people survived the initial years of the program that I'm in because I learned how to do all my Photoshop and Illustrator, which is like the main programs. You do other things like InDesign and stuff, but the main programs are Photoshop and Illustrator. I learned how to do all of that in high school, and a lot of people didn't. So a lot of people had dropped out of the program because they don't really go into how to do it. It's more so like my freshman year was like here's a basic as to the rules on how to do this. And then sophomore year was kind of like, here's if you were given like a rebrand, here, like take it, run with it, make up your whole brand, and then make a brand guide, whatever. And now my junior year is very like experimental and it's very like,
Interesting.
you're kind of released to do whatever you want and then you get feedback on it and you all just talk about it. And this has been one of the more like fun creative years because even though you still have restrictions, it still stimulates like or simulates, sorry, having like a job or like whatever where you're very much in control, but there's still parameters. So it's it's not like they're teaching me how to use programs really because it's expected that you already know. It's kind of treated like you're being given work or you're being given like an assignment, an artistic assignment.
That's very interesting to me because high school was not that uh, complex and interactive for me. It's
Mm-mm.
crazy. It's totally changed. And I mean, obviously it has to. I'm not, it evolves, but I, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, my daughter's about 20. So, I mean, I kind of knew that anyway, but from the perspective of graphic design and all that, so
I got
basically there's kids that showed up and didn't have that
yeah,
because
so
they went to like lesser schools, maybe then.
my high school, I got really lucky because the class was like digital arts. That's what it was called. But the teacher that I had was very, very knowledgeable and very, very good at graphic design specifically. And we had a pretty tight relationship. Like she liked me a lot and she knew that I wanted to
That's
go into
cool.
graphic design. So she really went into that kind of stuff. And so I got really set up for success for college, and a lot of other people just didn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Educational disparities, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean it's education is real different now. Like just on the outside looking in, my daughter's 13 and 15 now. Um, you know, they're just given laptops. Everything's on a laptop. Everything's on a
Mhm.
tablet. They don't even get homework barely. I'm like, man, this shit is crazy. I had
that's
homework every day.
that's actually funny, man. I remember my daughter coming home one time and she came home like 3, 4 days in a row. Like, no, I don't have any homework. And I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like,
Yeah.
am I being tricked? And then I realized like they just don't get homework. And
Yep.
I was like, man, that's some bullshit.
Oh,
It is bullshit.
it's wrong.
Yeah. Around the time of the pandemic, I really noticed like everything kind of just like did a full like 180. It was crazy because like before then, I got homework all the time. Like it was like a constant thing. And then once that hit, nobody really cared about anything anymore. They didn't care if you like for like a solid like year and a half, they didn't care if you turned things in. They didn't care if you understood what was happening. They were just like, whatever, just like keep going. Okay. And then after that, nothing, I think a lot of things are still recovering and rebuilding. Like even in my college, like as good as that program is right now, like there's a lot of like messiness in how they do things and like how they cram things in, and it's just kind of a mess. Like COVID really took a toll on the education system as a whole.
Interesting.
Yeah. I
I got
mean,
a
it was
question. Oh, sorry.
well, I mean,
My bad.
it's like we lost a whole year
Yeah.
of life basically without
Oh,
doing
a
anything.
couple. It was a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
really
a
sure
yeah,
good
what's
bit.
real right now.
it was kind of a couple, but
I guess
I
depending on where
but
you
I
were too,
but
though.
I did actually go out and do shows in 2021, I believe. I did go out and do shows in 2021.
Yeah, but even after we were all out, it's still like life was still a little. It's still now
Oh,
things have
it
not gone back. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
it
Things,
was
things
different.
never
It's
different.
definitely
You know what I'm
different.
saying?
I've been thinking it in my head. I've been going through this thing where is touring still worth it as an independent artist because nowadays uh Live Nation is taking over all these venues to
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you can't like independent venues can barely live and survive, and that's how independent artists live and survive in the tour world. And it's like
Yeah,
if Live Nation takes over all these venues, which I mean, I've had all these issues. I've never had to spend 5 to 6 months booking a tour before the pandemic,
Right.
I
ever.
think another element is that people are doing lives for money now. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So that they don't have to go out. So now the venue doesn't have as much to choose from. So basically, you're either a bigger artist at a certain tier, getting
Yeah.
people in that venue, or you're not. I mean, it's that I think that's a big one too. And Live Nation kind of took advantage of that and said, "All right, well, let's swoop up what's left." You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's unfortunate that, but it's the same theme. The little artist gets crushed. I mean, it's always been like that. They just figure out ways to do it different. Same
Yep.
5 or 6 companies still doing the same shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah.
to be so dismal, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's the same story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Before I cut you off, Ram, you had a question.
No, I'm good.
Oh,
No,
you
I was just saying that.
Oh,
Just getting on my soapbox on my
word. Pesto, you got something else?
Shit, man.
Hey, man, I mean, we're going around in circles. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared.
He wasn't prepared.
I wasn't prepared. Well,
Have y'all ever
actually,
been?
I got
Oh,
one now. So from the graphic design stuff, you've talked a lot about that. I know you mentioned that you play in coffee shops and stuff like that. Are there any other ambitions musically, in terms of like your goals for that, or is it kind of just an all together package thing? You just kind of do what you like to do and feel in the moment.
Holy crap. I want to do so much more musically, and I don't know what that specifically entails because recently I've been trying to get into producing because I don't I don't know anything. And I want to know things because I figured out part of the reason why I didn't like anything that I would write is because it didn't sound the way I wanted it to sound. So I need to make it sound the way I want it to sound to like it. So I have big aspirations musically. I really want to do more. I want to be in more venues and places. I've done some things like coffee shops. I've sang at weddings before, like I sing at my church, but like I want to do so much more. Graphic design is my job. Photography is also my job, but more of a passion, and music is like my whole passion. If money didn't matter, that would be what I did. So big aspirations musically.
have you guys ever made music together? You two?
No.
No.
Mm, I
Is
love
that so? I mean, do you make music enough now where that would be a thing?
not anymore for me anyways. I got married really young and like the dude that I got married to did not like it that I was a musician at all.
Uh,
Not want me playing nothing. He did not want me being in bands. He did not want me to be around band members. He did not want me to be around people.
yeah.
Mm.
Really controlling. But like I guess I could have understood that from one aspect because when you're an artist or a musician, there's a lot of scandalous stuff
I mean,
that
it's just wild out there. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's just how
But
it is.
you know,
But
but
he was a jerk
I was
anyway.
about to say that's no excuse for all that.
Yeah,
All that craziness.
he was a jerk. So I kind of pulled back from doing all of that and just poured all of myself into doing other things, but watching how each member of my family has just like musically like branched has been nuts. Like my brother's like the craziest person you will ever meet. This man, I'm just gonna be like honest, my brother has probably done more LSD than like half the people on this planet, right?
Oh, that ain't
And
crazy. He's
he
enlightened. Enlightened.
man, he is this man will sit down and like do a whole movie score by himself, be playing the piano for
Oh, that's
like
crazy.
4 hours, just these brilliant, crazy things that you're like, holy cow, this guy is nuts.
Wow.
And then he'll like bust out the guitar and like bust out like multiple layers of keyboards and
Oh, he's
like
the one that plays 14 instruments that you're talking about?
yeah,
Crazy.
like
Dude
he's
is crazy.
crazy. And like a
So,
prodigy, even when we were young. Like I remember him being just young in diapers. I'm in diapers and he's like playing the piano and it's like making sense. And I'm like, you like are playing the piano right now. And then he's like 5 in a recital playing like a whole piece. And so it's kind of like just been like that his whole life, where he's just got like these genius ticks of music in him.
hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy to watch. He has something like I don't know how many piano students he has, an insane amount.
Crazy amount.
Like over
Wow.
100, I think. And he travels to all of them and does his thing, and he's still able to do his like he goes to the what do you call that where they're all in the forest, like ooh, doing the thing. Uh, the
Uh,
rave. You know what I'm talking
I was like, there's a lot of those.
about?
You like, you talking like Bonnaroo or something like that?
No, yeah, it's like
Or
some
the
big
one in Nevada? What's the one in Nevada where they go to the desert?
That's
yeah,
Burning
like
Man.
that.
Burning Man,
It's
Burning Man.
like that. It's
Electric Forest.
yes,
Electric
that's it.
Forest.
There you
That's
go.
it. That's the
Okay.
one. So he
Okay.
still goes to that and he's still doing like his stuff. And I'm like, can you please bring your fentanyl checker with you, friend?
I
'Cause
mean, for real, yo.
yeah,
It's not
so
even, that's no bullshit.
yeah, it's scary out here. But he's just got this big brain and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're so good too, like at singing and playing. And it's crazy to watch her just pick up like a guitar or a ukulele or anything and just start playing the rhythm that she just heard, and figuring it out in 2 seconds. And then my other daughter does that too. And
Mm.
like even my 8-year-old, she plays the violin, and I'm like, wow, look at you just playing the violin, just super easy, like it's just coming naturally to you. So
It's
it's
cool.
really cool to watch everybody just have this crazy music spurt. And even though I don't do it, and I think like nobody wants to hear me sing, that's just not a thing that anybody wants to ever hear. Um, I just leave it to taking photos and videos, and like that's what I would like to do more of next. Instead of just doing like the still life photos, I would like to make like short, even like horror,
Interesting.
tiny clips that are like, what the heck did I just watch? That's what I would like
Yeah.
next.
I was actually curious if you ever thought about like making movies or have you written any scripts or anything like that?
Yeah,
And
so
in terms of
I
next steps.
haven't, but I like the idea of, I've filmed music videos, which
Oh,
are
dope. Okay.
like, that's okay for like the person that I'm filming the music video for. I don't really have a lot of creative say in those, and so that can be boring, especially when you got a mind that's going at like a million miles an hour, and you're like, oh, it would be so cool if you did this right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
Wait,
and you
hold on,
can't.
not to interrupt. You don't have the people you shot videos for didn't give you a creative say? Because if I'm having someone doing a video for me and they're like that's what they're doing, I'm like,
Yeah,
you control what's going on. I mean, yeah, I want to do
I mean, it's a back
my
and forth
rap shit,
input, right?
but
it
I
is. It's so back and forth. It's back and forth, but also I find that like a lot of musicians, especially like in the scene of musicians I'm shooting for, are very like controlling over, well, now this is what I want, or like back and forth. That's why I stopped like showing people clips of videos. I'm like, I'm not showing you this video until it's done, because I'm tired of hearing you say like what you want me to change, or like we
What
should have done this, or could we add this, or do more. No, we cannot do more.
what genre? What genre may I ask?
A lot of it is like metal, and some of it is like,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
what do you even call it? It is like sad boy rap. Sad boy rap. It's like, I don't know.
I don't even know what sad boy. I mean, I probably heard it, but I don't know what would fall under that.
It's like Gucci High Waters, or like,
Gucci
Suicide
High Waters.
Boys,
Gucci
stuff
High
like
Waters
that.
sound like a '60s pimp, like a
yeah,
late '60s pimp before the '70s got going.
yeah, it's like, like I'm really upset. Like I'm upset. Like I can dig it. I can listen
Yeah.
to it.
No, I'm just playing. I'm saying his name is funny. I'm sorry.
It is. It is. It just, I don't know. I feel like if I would have more creativity if I wasn't shooting somebody's music video and I was just shooting like short stories of my own, where it's like,
mm,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
So
was like, that was weird.
I feel that. You so you don't want nobody to ever hear you sing, but you had said you were a drummer for a long time. So
Yeah.
so how do you learn that? And did you actually drum in bands? I know you said your ex didn't want none of that, but after that, did you pursue that?
Before that, I was pursuing that. So I was in
Mm,
a couple of like grindcore bands. Where the drumming is like really fast blast beats that are continuously going in double bass, and like just ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Hitting. I was in a few bands like that were just like, I don't know, that's a spin-off of like the punk rock scene. So it's a lot of basements, a lot of basement shows, a lot of people breaking stuff down there and drinking and just being crazy, and
Fun
like,
times.
yeah, fun times. And that just all kind of like, but I learned like classical drums first. My teacher Roy, he's passed away now, he was awesome. He was like a jazz musician, so I started learning from him, and he was teaching me like jazz beats on the drums, like starting with the snare and then going to the other drums. You learn the snare, then you learn the toms, then you learn like the floor tom, and then you learn it all together. You learn the cymbals and the crash, and like
Mm.
It's like each one of them has their own part in the kit, and you got to learn it all, and then you got to learn how to put it all together. So it took a long time to learn how to do that, and I think just after somebody being like, I don't like you doing that, and that influence, or like, I don't even want to hear you play.
Mm.
And I actually ended up like selling my drums and like doing a whole thing. I just kind of like ceased and desisted and found other outlets to kind of be in a weird survival mode. I'm divorced from that man, so it was like a long time of just figuring out how I'm going to be creative um without music, without playing music. Music has always been there. I'm always listening to music.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hold
It's,
on. Ram, you got a rap uh end rap question like before we wrap up.
um, I assume you're a fan of photography, so I guess top 3 to 5 photographers that might inspire you.
Man, so 3 to 5 that I my favorite photographer that I know, one of them is Yuma Amador. Go check out his stuff. He should be shooting film. He has a really big family, and I think that's why he doesn't. But every single photo he shoots looks like a movie. It looks like it came out of Hollywood.
Huh,
Every time I've worked with him, I've been like, well, you just blew my mind with the equipment you're using is not like it's not like this crazy wild equipment. It's just like he just knows what he's doing. And we've had like hour-long conversations, hours on like, man, you should really be in a different state because you are nuts. He's nuts. He's amazing.
that's
Um,
dope.
so that's Yuma. You should check him out, Yuma Amador. And I really love like Matt Lombard. He shoots some really dark art. But he's like a digital artist too, so he'll take like crime scenes. He has
Mm.
like a serial killer series, a Jane Doe series that he takes and he
Oh,
puts
that's
like,
wild.
Hmm.
yeah, it's pretty cool. He takes like actually like handwritten parts of like the Zodiac and different things and puts them into the back of the photos and then shoots the model and then puts them in there, and it's like this big composite. Is really, really, really cool. So I love him too.
Wow, his brain's on some different shit, yeah.
It's different,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So cool. He's a cool, the cool one of the you would never know. He's like one of the coolest guys you talk to. You're just like, hey, what's up? It's just like a normal everyday person out here. I mean, he is. He's just crazy cool. He's got all these wild ideas. And then I have to say that I love shooting with Brad Campbell. I know I mentioned him already, but like every time I shoot with him, we're doing some crazy stuff. Like there's a naked man in a canoe who's like behind us while we're shooting. I'm like, what is even happening? Like we went downtown and shot Catwoman, and we got this guy to like do this crazy thing with his car, and when he's done, like he shoots a lot of fantasy. And so it's these are like 3 different styles of photography, but when I think about like what I love, if you put all of those things together, um it it's all like you need all of those. And I love
Mm.
all of those. So those people just in my inner circle like really inspire
That's
me.
dope. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like I don't have a lot of specific photographers that I like. Like obviously my mother inspires me greatly. Like
Oh.
Yeah,
I
that's cool.
yeah. But a lot of the time I kind of touched on it earlier. A lot of the time what really excites me is like things that I see like lights and stuff like that. I'm really into lighting. But also like I don't know. Collage is really exciting to me. I really like people that work with collage. There's
Hmm.
this woman, her name is Priya. I forget her last name, but she kind of works in collage where she'll like take old family portraits and take the faces out and put like patchwork in it instead to show like the disconnect between like her present and her past and stuff. And I think
Mm.
that kind of stuff is cool. I also think digital collage is cool because it's a hard thing to do well. Because you can rip up paper and like put it down and it looks really great, but to do that in Photoshop or something like that, that's really hard because it's hard to get it to look right and to have it be well
Hmm.
done. So I love it when people do that kind of a thing.
It's interesting. I've never thought about the difficulty in it being a reason why I would like an art. I guess I've never really thought about that part of it. No, that's not true. I guess I do think about it with lyricism and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just rambling. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. No, I'm a sucker for black and white photography. Like I'm a big James Baldwin fan, you know, in the old photography. They're like, do you think there's a different type of feel in doing either or? You know what I mean? Black and white or
Oh yeah. Yeah. Go look at Yuma's work. Like when we're done here, go look up Yuma or I'll send it to you guys and you can look because he does a lot of black and white work and it is completely different. I've had people say people shoot in black and white when they don't know how to shoot in color or they don't know how to use
I think it's the opposite.
You're wrong. It's like if you shoot a good classic black and white portrait, even look at street photography, people going out and shooting in like the homeless or people who are standing on
that's my shit.
When they're thing, right? And it's like black and white and so detailed. It's like beautiful. That's like a work of, to me, that's like that makes my heart pump. Like this is the amazing work right here. And so there's a massive difference when you add color or take it away. It actually changes the entire emotion of the photo completely.
Yeah, okay. That's what's up. I just wondered that from a photographer standpoint, because as a fan of it, you know what I mean? I mean, I go out and take pictures with my phone just because I enjoy it, but I've never actually gotten equipment and I really been a photographer at all.
Let me encourage you.
I can't add another creative thing to my plate, man. I can't do that, yo. You know what I mean?
Sure you can. Sure
2
you
months
can,
later,
man.
he's like $10,000 in debt.
If I had $10,000, I would be. Well, yeah.
You got this. Crowd fund.
Oh, I just wanted to real quick say, me and Ram have actually talked about at some point doing like live podcasting, but I love how your guys' setup is, like with the white background and then how you shoot, and then you got the microphone joints. I don't know. I just like how you guys set up things.
Thank you.
For your podcast, even though you guys are newer at doing it. So I'm a food junkie. I want to know, since you guys have been probably different places. I know Evie, you had mentioned you were in London for a while.
Yep.
I assume that you have taken your daughter, and she's probably gone places by herself too. Top 3 food places all time ever.
Oh my God.
I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy.
I love Asian food and I love
Oh my gosh, I love Asian food so much. It's
like,
so good.
The hotter, if you give me some Thai food, there's like a Thai food place on Highway 100 up here, and I can't even say the name of it, but I'm like,
where are you at?
Hottest. Oh, it's right next to Planned Parenthood.
Where are you at?
I'm not in Planned Parenthood right now. Gotta clear that up.
Nah.
What city? I mean, like what area?
So that's
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Milwaukee,
That goes like that's every Thai restaurant. We need more specific.
Don't freak about it. It's okay.
It's on 108th.
It's on 108th.
Planned Parenthood. I'm telling you right now, you gotta go there. You gotta give that to me, like the hottest that it comes, and they're like, "No, you don't want that." I'm like, "Yes, I do." Yes,
y'all might have just gave me a stand-up bit, dog. That was funny as fuck. Planned Parenthood.
Oh shit!
That's 2 ways to flush that baby out
there. You know.
Oh,
Planned Parenthood, I guess, and with your Thai food, I bet you they eat time. I would. I'd be like, let me get that, and then I'd be miserable my whole day while I'm working because my stomach hurts because I shouldn't be eating that, but I want to.
Right?
You ever want something that you shouldn't want, and you're like, I'm just gonna do it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Cigarettes.
Yeah. There you go. It's so true. Like, or touching that thing, like that building, like it says no trespassing.
There's trespassing.
Yeah, you know, like
I don't feed.
How serious is this? I'm dyslexic, you know. You know what I'm saying? And so like Thai food and like what
Oh my gosh, I love Korean barbecue so much. My
Mm.
boyfriend is Korean. Oh my gosh, he put me on to the best. It's called Maru. It's in Milwaukee. Oh my gosh,
Mm-mm.
it's literally so good. It's
I'm gonna
like
have to check it out.
my life was changed. I love them, and I love this one random taco truck in South Milwaukee. They park out by Walmart in South Milwaukee, and so good. It is so good. The oh man, like again,
Oh shit.
changed. Another culinary experience I really value is Rainforest Cafe in Gurney Mills.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Totally that's a microwave.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah. Nah,
That's she
let me
said.
tell you, let me tell you, when you're among the animatronic animals,
That's the
it changes
experience.
everything.
Yeah. I'll put my own food in. It'll be
Yeah,
like a movie
exactly.
theater.
Did you did you ever go into the Rainforest Cafe little museum thing they used to, do they not have that no more? Have you ever gone into that?
They used to have it. Now they don't. It's so sad. They got rid of it.
There was like an albino crocodile in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That was called Serpent Safari, and it was next door. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I remember that. That
Oh,
snake
yeah.
was almost as big as the one that bit that man.
Back to the tacos at Walmart. If you like taco trucks that are in random places, you need to go to Austin, Texas.
Oh my gosh.
If they're everywhere. I mean,
I used to not trust, I'm gonna be honest, I used to be a food truck denier. I did not trust
no.
No,
Trust me.
my life was my perspective, my world changed when I had that taco. It was so good.
Yeah, I recently lived in Austin, Texas in general. It's like, yo, just random places. It'll be the bombest food, you know, especially tacos and shit like that, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a tip for everyone in the world.
Yes.
Word up. Pesta, you got a last question, bro.
I can't follow the food question and the tacos, man. How am I supposed to beat that, bro? How the fuck am I gonna beat street tacos at Walmart, bro?
And
I mean,
you cannot
ain't nobody beating tacos at Walmart.
Nah.
You're talking about like the tamale lady who comes into the bar or something. Like
Yo,
I
that's
go to bars very much, but like the tamale lady, if she comes in, I'm like, you could slide it in the pocket.
I need 36. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fire.
Exactly.
Man, I want some tamales right now. Goddamn.
I know, but I
know.
don't.
Now I want them. What the fuck?
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
But Pesta, you ain't got a last question, bro?
You really? Oh, what's your favorite bug?
Oh my gosh.
My favorite.
This is a
bug?
lovely question.
I just realized your name on here, Pesto. That's crazy. Anyway, sorry.
Favorite bug.
I really dig inchworms because they're just doing their thing. I like the green ones that look like they're like neon. Those are really sick. I also really enjoy like the pill bugs, the roly polies. Those are pretty chill. I love butterflies so much. That's a basic answer, but I love butterflies. Butterflies are great. I also really dig millipedes because I think they're freaky, and I really just enjoy those as well.
Ooh, that's the first person I've ever met that likes millipedes.
Oh my gosh, I think they're so cute. They're just
This
like
is the weirdest fucking conversation.
It's a very weird question.
But you know what I'm gonna say? Number one answer should be for everyone.
What?
Bees.
I was
Bees go, we all go.
I was gonna say that I like bees, but not in the way that you're thinking. Like I like those killer bees who are like, I told you not to be in my space.
No.
Wait, have you ever lived where killer bees are?
No, but I like.
Oh, that's why you say that. No, see, I've lived in Arizona, and there's actual killer bees out there, and you hear about this shit.
But were you in their space? Were you in their space?
I've never been in their space.
That's a crazy statement.
That's
but
what
it's a general fear you have when you're there.
But like, I understand where they're coming from. Like I said, no. Don't you get it?
No.
Yeah, but you gotta go grab all your homies too, though. You know?
Yes, it's a gang out. Don't make me.
I don't know, man. I'd rather run into killer bees than army ants.
Oh yeah, that's nasty.
I'd rather run into roly polies than either. So that's why they're top 5.
I
would rather run into butterflies. The big, no one's ever came out of a big butterfly experience like that was horrible. You
You
know?
can't really swat at butterfly. You can't be like, ah, like that's
Yeah.
not
No.
frowned upon.
Yeah.
You can't
No,
do
you-
What
that.
my sister used to do. My
You
sister's
waft.
terrified of
You
butterflies.
waft away.
Oh, dude, I'm terrified of birds. I don't like it when they gang up, like they get in like their big gangs. Like birds freak me
Oh,
out.
I
Yeah.
love birds, man. I feel like
Shit. What
you know,
about flocks of
I love
geese that will
birds.
attack the fuck out of you?
Oh
Geese
my
don't
But
gosh,
play
hear
fair.
them
I
from
have
a
to talk about
distance.
geese. I
From a
have to
distance.
talk about geese. Like geese, nah. One time when I was a child, I was with my grandmother when we were eating Culver's in the parking lot, and there was a little pond and there were geese. And so she was like, let's give the food we didn't eat to the geese. Bad idea, because the geese liked it and they chased us all the way back to her minivan, and I was horrified. They were coming for my ankles. I don't mess with geese.
Yeah,
That is
I don't.
that is every geese story ever.
It is. It is.
Much.
It is.
Pretty much.
If you
That's
ever want to
great.
have another goose experience, you could go to the Green Bay Nature Reserve because they are insane there.
I would not like that experience.
I'm
but
not
thank
sure
you.
if I would like that experience.
Thank you. Would he work for the Wisconsin agricultural people?
No,
What is that?
but me and Urban shot a music video there,
Oh,
and
that's what's up.
and it was so hard to shoot the video because we were surrounded by fucking geese everywhere, and there's so much. It's like, how do you preserve this area when it's literally you're walking on nothing but goose shit? There's nothing
Oh,
everywhere.
That's nasty.
Yeah, I will be actively avoiding that experience. So
First
thank
date.
you.
thanks for telling me we're not to go. Yeah. Yeah.
We
You just
also
hurt
ran
our
it.
economy.
We also ran into a random muskrat there too. He was just walking on the pier.
Great.
His name
Yeah.
was Phil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Pesto, well, hold on. My favorite is definitely the mantises that
Yeah.
look like the leaves and the
Yeah.
flowers. Those joints,
Oh, that's what's
not
up.
like just a regular plain.
Like walking stick.
Yeah, like that kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like the. I mean, haven't you
My
seen
favorite-
those mantises that are like they look like leaves and shit?
Yeah, my favorite
Yeah.
are the aliens that look like that. Yeah, I lost all of y'all. I knew that. I thought that would be funny.
We're all like,
I thought that would be funny.
I was like,
Supposedly, there's
what?
a species of aliens that look like praying mantis.
Oh.
Yeah. Google
Yeah.
it.
yeah, all right, all right.
Said Google that shit. Google that shit.
I'm just
I
messing
I
with
like
you.
spiders.
Oh
Like-
no, son, you lost me.
I've lost everybody. Everybody hates them, but
No, I
that's
don't
why
hate-
I
I don't-
fight for
I
the
don't-
spiders, bro.
I don't hate spiders.
Why not?
I think they're interesting. There's the different breeds of spiders are interesting to me.
Nah, B. I ain't
I
scared.
look
of them.
at
I don't
them like
them.
this. I look at them like this. They pop out of nowhere. It's the same thing as if anything popped out of nowhere. It surprises you. It's like, oh shit, there's a spider.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But you got a spider in your house. You ain't got no fucking mosquitoes in there. You ain't got none of that shit in there because that spider is eating their ass up.
No, yeah, no. Look, I'm not scared of spiders, and I understand they're beneficial, but that don't mean I fuck with them. Like, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't really want them in my. That's like
No.
if there's a ghost in my house, it's like keeping people away, but like I don't really want it there.
Okay, so
that's
if
that's
you're
one
in
of the funniest analogies ever.
but like if you're in a situation where there's like, okay, so you would take a
A
hissing
millipede
cockroach-
over a spider?
You would take a hissing cockroach over a spider. Hissing
Who are
cockroaches
you
are
asking this?
disgusting.
Who are you asking this?
Anybody.
What
Hissing
kind of
cockroaches.
spider?
No.
What kind of spider is it?
Yeah, what kind of spider?
And you have to
A
go
wolf
where hissing
spider.
cockroaches are. Spiders are everywhere, right?
Hissing
A wolf
cockroaches
spider.
are disgusting, bro.
But what kind of spider is it though?
Wolf spider.
Wolf spiders are dope, and they're not even harmful to humans.
No, but they're the spooky looking ones though.
Yeah, but they look like their hair is like really long. Like
Yeah. It's like an ugly person.
So
Like,
is
you
your
know what I mean?
hair.
Like,
Your hair's really long too.
it's like you don't want to see an ugly person, you know?
but I don't like leave it on people. Like, I don't like jump at people. I'm not like, you know, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not scared of either. It's just I don't want them though.
Yeah.
The worst
Oh.
insect in the world might be a mosquito though, for real.
Yeah, mosquitoes. If somebody said mosquito was a bug they liked, it would be a problem.
that would be a problem. That
That's
would be a
red
problem.
flag.
Well,
That's- devil burning
Yeah,
flag.
there's no way someone can actually. There's no way someone can actually like mosquitoes. Like,
So,
Yeah,
Jurassic Park, there was a little hint of somebody maybe liking mosquitoes, but
I don't trust that.
I don't trust that person. They're an op.
Yeah.
That's fantasy
Yeah.
fiction.
well, on that note, why don't you guys tell everyone how they can get in touch with your photo studio, photography, and your graphic design work before we wrap it up?
Cool. So if you want to find me, the name of my business is Unplugged Artistic Event Planning and Studios. As if it couldn't be any longer, you can find me on Facebook. Or you can find me on Facebook. It's Evie Denecki, which is Danecki. I post a lot of weird stuff, so if you add me on there, you just gotta be ready for that. You don't know what it's gonna be. My Instagram is Evelyn Noir, so you can find me on there if you would like to. I have a TikTok. I'm trying to figure out how it works. It freaks me out.
Don't be scared.
But the links are on there.
Don't be scared.
I'm getting this down. And if you want to get involved in photography events or you just want to watch the weird stuff I'm doing, like that's a great place to do it. Come and find me.
Nice. I'm just establishing my social medias. My Instagram is Serena Marilyn, but the I is a period because Serena Marilyn was taken. And my TikTok is Serena.Marilyn. You just gotta change where the dot is, and that's where all my music stuff is. I might post some photography stuff, but I like music, so that's where that is.
All right. Well, this has been super dope. This has been the CyphaDen
Good
Chat.
meetup.
Presented by CyphaDen Music, where we inspire even those higher. And remember to never stop chasing your dreams because you will never know what you are fully capable of. I'm your host, Tayamu Deku. That's the homie Pestilence. That's Rambunctious. Tonight, we had special guests, Evie and Serena.
Hey.
And it's been super dope having y'all on here. Whenever the podcast drops, I will definitely let you know, get a clip together, and we appreciate y'all again and your time.
Thank you for having us. It was really cool talking to all of you.
Yeah, for sure. Good to meet y'all, man. It was
Appreciate it. Good to meet you.
Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.